here to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing off limits. We want you to know that whether you are called forward to the hot seat where we will dialogue with you personally, or whether you are sitting out there just having your vibrational moment, that you will hear, to the degree that you are in relationship to your vortex, everything that we know about that. This gathering has assembled before you dragged your physical bodies here or before you logged in online. In other words, there are thousands of us participating here in physical form, and we cannot even begin to give you the number of non-physical energy that is participating with you here. We want you to know that this cooperative experience of co-creation at its best will reveal to you a number of things. First, it's going to show you firsthand your relationship with the vortex. You're going to have an experience sitting wherever you're sitting on the planet where something that is important to you is going to be discussed in a way and in a fullness that you will understand it completely. And you got to know it's your manifestation. In other words, what's happening here in this gathering is your manifestation. It's not being orchestrated because we know stuff, we do, that we think you would like to know, we do. It's that you are summoning, and to the degree that you are in relationship with your vortex, you're going to receive clarity, full understanding of all kinds of wonderful things. And together it is our promise to you that we will take thought beyond that which it has been before, which is what is exhilarating to all of us. Over time, people have said to Jerry and Esther, oh, you need to get out there, you need to expand, you need to make this more available to more people. And they say, yeah. But what we really are interested in is a gathering like this, where people can participate from all around the planet, who can bring the clarity of what they want to know vibrationally to the forum. And we can together expand this understanding of deliberate creation, of living happily ever after, of joyous manifestation. So, what's up? What do you want to talk about? You have things. It's going to be a very good day. Relax, feel no frustration if we don't call you forward soon or ever. Know that it will unfold perfectly. Let's begin right here. So, as you stand in your physical body and you're aware of the buffet that's before you, some things you can look right at and know you prefer them, and some things you can look at and know that you would like it to be better. And have you noticed that if you let yourself believe in your own or global or mass consciousness, personal or bigger expansion, that you cannot stop for a moment thinking of what would be better? Esther's been in the new kitchen in Texas, and most things that are in most cupboards have not been there very long, because she keeps finding a better place for everything. Anyone who's trying to find something that was there yesterday is in trouble, because today it's in a new and improved place for a while. In other words, she'll find the place that works perfectly in time, but it's very funny to her that there are so many places for improvement no matter how good something is. You never run out of the desire to expand because you are eternal beings. So this expansion is contained, and that's not an accurate word because it's fluid and flowing, but it is held. That's not really the right word either because it's fluid and flowing, but it's gathered is a better word. It's amassed is a better word in what we're depicting as a vibrational vortex. And the reason we call it a vortex is because in this attraction power, there's this constant gathering of things that match this desire. We call those the cooperative components. The cooperative components to what you are asking for. Well, vibrationally speaking, that's sort of boring, Abraham, because I can't see that stuff amassing. I trust you sort of, but I can't see it, so it's conceptual. It's a theory. Feels a little like fairy dust all over it. I get the idea of it. I believe that vibration precedes everything. But to ask me to believe in a vortex that I can't see, when there's all this manifestation that I can see, oh, Abraham, manifestation is more compelling. Because we could gather together in groups. We can agree on what we see. We can take tests about it. We can accurately acknowledge what it is. Manifestation is meaty. It's seeable, hearable, smellable, tasteable, touchable. It's reality. Abraham, manifestation is reality. We hear you. You talk to us all the time, and quite often you're annoyed. And we say, it is reality, but it's reality that has spawned and accrued and accumulated and come into your visual, sensual senses because it is a vibrational match to something that you've got chronically going on. And you have to know that, because as you move around the planet and you interact with people, you see people living in similar circumstances that are manifesting entirely differently. You see people who everything seems to always go wrong for them, and you see people who everything seems to always go right for them. And you just got to know there's a vibrational variance that makes the difference in what's happening to you, not just generally, but specifically moment by moment. So what we're getting at is you could be observing something that isn't something that you want. And as you're observing it, you're taking it in, you're having conversations about it. And in doing so, you're holding your vibration in an even more specific place. Because the more attention you give to anything, the more specifically focused you are. And the more specifically focused you are, the faster the energy moves and the faster the manifestation becomes. So you could be looking at this thing, and let's call it, for sake of this analogy, something unwanted. And this is the point we want to make with you. Without even realizing it, your observation of your current financial condition or your physical condition or your relationship condition or whatever it is that you're focusing upon, your attention to it is causing a vibrational response in you which equals your point of attraction. Now, your point of attraction isn't something that's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or the next day. Your point of attraction is something that's manifesting now. So much so that this thought and this conversation that you've got going on is going to cause the next people who walk into your experience to reflect back to you precisely what it is you've got going on. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to how close on the heels of what you're feeling, especially if you're feeling it strongly, the manifestation follows. And then the real fun is to recognize, either because the feeling didn't feel good or because the manifestation doesn't feel good. Maybe somebody says something to you that you didn't like, that you didn't think they should have said, that you didn't really believe you had coming, and that most of all you don't want, you don't ever want to hear it again. But you're hearing it, it's happening. And why is it happening? Is it happening because reality has descended on you? Or is it happening in response to a vibrational stance that you've been practicing that you maybe didn't even know you were practicing until it manifested? But here it is. Reality happens. We've seen the bumper stickers. We like this one better. Reality happens. So then you say, we want you to say, oh, but I get this stuff. I know that I'm the creator of my own experience. I'm not a regurgitator. I observed that, and I had a regurgitating knee-jerk response to it, which I kept practicing because it was really absurd and obscene what happened. And so I told everybody that I saw for a while, do you know what that guy said? Do you know what he said? Do you know what he said? Do you know what he did? Do you know how he made me feel? So you keep it going for a little while, but in all of that, launching, clarifying, vortexing, creating, doing the vibrational precursoring, it's not a word, but write it down anyway, to what future manifestations can be depending upon what you do vibrationally. In other words, you've launched the rockets, the potential is there for the new and improved experience. The question is, are you going to keep regurgitating what is, because after all, that guy was really out of line? Or are you going to take the bounce and practice, and here are the operative words, practice the less easy vibration, because that's the easy vibration. You just observed it. All of your physical senses told you it was reality, and if you gathered together with others and went on some of those talk shows, most of the people would agree with you that that person was a misbehaving person and that you are right. But we are wanting to say to you, it doesn't matter how right you are in your negative emotion or in your pushing against. You are depriving yourself of the creation that has been born out of it, and you can't feel good until you come along with the new creation, because you got to keep up with you. You got to keep up with you. Our favorite day so far with you, because we have been out on the leading edge in a new way. It's interesting how we can have some of the same conversations about vortex, about contrast, about launching desires, about taking the bounce. And then a whole series of people just raise their hand and come forward to punctuate exactly what we're wanting to convey to you about this business of managing your relationship with your vortex. We want you to realize that no matter where you're standing in relationship to what you want is only an emotion away from you. In other words, a very close emotion away from you. Jerry is often asking us, well, Abraham, what do you want? What's in this for you? What do you want? And we've been saying in a variety of different ways that what we want is for you to have conscious realization of what you would call potential that we would call reality. What we want is for your realization of who you really are to come fully into your life moment by moment. We so enjoy watching little ones who are full of themselves, who are not terrorized by a crowd or controlled by a well-meaning lover or a parent, who just have such complete knowledge of their goodness and their rightness and their never-ending potential for joyous expansion, that they just don't take anything that you've got going on very seriously. They just stay in that knowledge of well-being. And what we want is that little by little you return to that place of knowing where you're not afraid of anything, because you understand that you can take it as it comes, and that if something does show up that is unwanted, that there is a way to easily bring it back into alignment. We want your life not to frighten you in its potential, but to call you in its potential. We want you to feel the fullness of your readiness to respond to whatever comes your way. Because the freedom that you seek is the freedom from resistance. It's the only freedom that exists. And when you finally get it, that you can be free of resistance under any and all conditions, and once you align with the energy of who you are, that all things right themselves in terms of manifestation, now you have control of manifestation. It's such an interesting thing to watch. There are so many moving parts and so many things you can't control. So the effort at controlling them just makes you crazy. It makes you crazy, and it makes you feel unworthy because you can't control them, and so you can't make things better. But when you begin understanding your relationship with who you were before you came, and your relationship with who you have now become, when you understand the vortex and your relationship with the vortex, and you learn to manage your emotions just day by day and bringing yourself into alignment, then in time and in very short order, you will come to that freed place where you will realize that there isn't anything for you to be terrorized about or terrified about, or anything for you to ever worry about, because you can figure it out as you go. And here's the part we love telling you most. In the figuring it out, there is more zest and zippity-doo-dah than you experience under any other conditions. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain blissfully in the vortex, calling you in, 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 but never worrying about whether you're in or not. There is great love here for you.